The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for attending today's webcast, Meridian Portal Project Collaboration in the Cloud. Our presenter today is Matt Lane. He's a Senior Consulting Engineer with Hagerman Company. Before we begin, I'll let you know that you're in listening only mode. If you have questions during the presentation, you can type those into the question panel, which is located on the right-hand side of your screen, and there will be a Q&A session at the end with Matt. As we close down the session today, you'll be prompted to fill out a short survey, and we ask that you take a few moments to fill that out for us. Also, everyone registered will receive a follow-up email tomorrow, which will contain a link for the recording of today's presentation. And I'll go ahead and hand things off to Matt now.
All right, thank you, Ashley, and thank you for everyone joining us here today. As Ashley mentioned, we'll be focusing on the Meridian Portal tool here for the next few minutes. And before we get into that, I want to give just a quick overview on Hagerman Company, who we are. We've been around over 36 years now under same steady, constant ownership and management. We have offices over the entire United States, so we cover the entire United States, also do projects globally as well. And we've been implementing data management and collaboration tools for over 25 years now. We've successfully completed now well over 1,200 customer projects, and we do offer multiple systems, so we try to work with each particular customer on a consulting basis to help them determine what's the best solution for their particular needs. We'll be concentrating here on today on the Meridian Portal project from Accruent, who is an organization that has a number of different tools and technologies, all focused around organizations who own and need to manage and maintain a lot of assets, physical spaces, and so on. So you can see some of the industries that Accruent focuses on with their Meridian product, like oil and gas, utilities, chemical, pharma, metals and mining, engineering and construction, transportation, food and beverage, pulp and paper, government, education, hospitals, telecom, airports, and banks are some of the key industries where the Meridian product is being used. Now the Meridian product line covers a number of different areas in terms of doing things like general document management, CAD integration, easy search view print access, support for engineering projects, linking of documents to related assets or pieces of equipment, and collaboration with outside parties, which is really where the Meridian Portal tool comes in to allow you to do things like creating and managing document drawing transmittals, doing that collaboration over the cloud with outside project partners, and then being able to easily import new or updated documents back into either your server, other document management system, or Meridian Enterprise. So yeah, across the product, Meridian products and platforms, Meridian installed solution for internal document management. Meridian Cloud is a cloud or SaaS-based version of Meridian Enterprise, has the functionality but is somewhat less configurable. And then here today, as I mentioned, we're focusing on the Meridian Portal, which is a cloud or SaaS-based tool for project collaboration, which can work either completely standalone or completely integrated with Meridian Enterprise or Cloud Business, if you have that. So a little bit more background on the portal. The idea is you've got your cloud-based portal allowing outside engineering and construction firms, suppliers, customers, contractors, subcontractors, all being able to interact with it to get the documents they need, or submit documents to you for review, approval, and internal usage. Then I mentioned as desired, it can totally integrate with an on-premise Meridian system should you have that, but again, it's not necessary. Just some of the features that are included in Meridian Portal. It allows you to manage a portfolio of ongoing projects, do some basic document control in the cloud for those projects, being able to distribute documents to outside parties, be able to do online review and markup. Then there's full audit trails and reporting built in, along with the ability to bulk upload and download packages of documents. So the big thing with Meridian Portal is when you're working with a number of parties on a project, it allows you to always know who has the ball, when did they get the ball, why do they have the ball, what are they doing with it, and then have full history tracking throughout the project process. So really making it much easier, so no longer having to zip, burn, and mail things out anymore, or to use other FTP or email electronic transmissions that don't have near as much notification, tracking, feedback, automation, and so on. And then again, be able to do your reviews collaboratively and online. So just a quick look at Portal before we get into it. Everything in Portal is organized around projects. So when a user goes in, they see a list of the current projects that they are involved in. An outside contractor, they'd only see the list of projects that they're working with you on. Then you have the ability to then click on a particular project, get more details on it, and then be able to go in and see who the members of that project are or add members to it. So here, for this particular APM 546 project, we can see its name, who created it, when was it created, who we have involved both internally and externally on the project, and what their project role is. And then we can send out invitations to new members we'd like to join the project, and then see which one we've sent invitations to who have not yet responded. Then when somebody is invited to join a project or needs to do anything else in regard to a project, they get notification in the email system. So they're made aware of what they need to do, and then can click a link and go right to the particular place in the portal where they need to perform their task. Everything in Portal, all the transmissions are done around what's called packages, which is like a transmittal. So here you can see we're in the APM 546 project, a particular package within it. We can see the package number, its name or description, why it was issued, who created it, and then a list of the documents that are in that particular package. And the Meridian Portal, whenever a transmittal or package goes out, it actually builds an Excel report listing basic information about the transmittal, along with a list of and details on all of the documents in that package. Now, when you create a package, as I mentioned, they can come from or go to an on-premise Meridian system, or they can be uploaded off of your computer or server, or an outside supplier's computer or server. And then when the package is sent, whoever's sending it can pick the reason or purpose for which they are sending it, which could be approval, handover, information only, review, or update/modification. Then, as I mentioned, you can have review packages in the portal so that designated reviewers can go in and review and comment on documents online, and then based on their review and commenting, either accept or reject the changes. I showed the little upload and grabbing files from a Windows folder to send documents. Here we're taking a look at a screenshot from an on-premise Meridian Enterprise solution and looking at a particular project and then a document in that project and then the Meridian workflow associated with it. So you can see this file has been placed under change, which we could open and edit here internally, or you can see right in the Meridian workflow how a user can just click send out, and that would automatically send it to the correct project in the portal, and then automatically notify the contractor that they need to go in and grab the file to make changes. So now if we go ahead and take a look at Portal, so here I'm in the system. I am in the system as an internal document controller, and I can see a list of the projects that I have going on. And here, as we move through the presentation, I'm going to grab some blank template drawings and send them out to an outside contractor for them to create the drawings for our particular project. The contractor will send them back, and then we'll have an internal engineer, electrical engineer, perform the review on those files. So that's kind of where we're heading with the presentation. But here you can see again, here's a list of the projects I've got going on, and you can see, things are hyperlinked, so I can go into any particular project to see more details on it. Let's go ahead and create a new project we're going to be working on. We'll click there. And internet's running a little slow for me here for some reason all of a sudden. Let me go back and say new project again. Here we go. So I'll make this ML-1004 project name. I'll call it Portal Webinar since that's what we're doing. So we can create that project. So now it's created. I can go into it, and I want to add some members to it. And these are people I've already been working with. So let's add Richard as a reviewer. And also I want to add Karen as an outside contractor. So now we can see there's myself and our two people on the project. So now I'm going to grab some documents to send out to Karen for modification. I can go here, and I've just got a Meridian Portal folder here, and I'm going to grab these files. And you can see here in the little thumbnail, you can see they're just blank templates with title blocks. I can grab those. And notice it's doing scanning. Anytime you upload documents, the portal automatically goes through some compliance checks to make sure the file's not, it can give you warnings if it's empty, or like with AutoCAD, it does an XREF check to make sure either you or the contractor are not missing XREFs that need to be sent back, which that can be something kind of difficult to deal with. And I could go back and add more files. I'll go ahead and pick those. And then I want to, I can gradually add more and more files into the system as I need to. Then when I get the files I want, I can grab those. I need to move. There we go. And now I can send those out for revision. And I want to send those to Karen. I can give a due date, and I can say, please create new DWGs from templates. And hit send. Now I'm working here in Chrome, and to try to keep things separate, I've got different people in my demo working in different browsers. And so now you can see this is Karen's email, Karen Contractor. She has received notification that she's been sent a package. And if we'll click open, that'll take her into Portal, right into the project, right into the package. And the first step is she may not be ready to work on this yet, but she can go ahead and acknowledge and send a message back to me, say, hey, I got your notification. I'm going to be working on it. So if I hit acknowledge, I went to my email, I would actually get an acknowledgement from her that that she received them. And we're going to keep working so she can go ahead and download these files to begin working on them. And when you download, got some options here. I have the CAD source files, include PDF renditions if they're there, the metadata, and I can hit OK. And go ahead and save that. And now if I open, there's my download package. So everything was zipped up. I extract here. I meant to say extract here. There we go. I'll just get rid of that. So you can see here are the files. Also here you can see here's the transmittal form that was generated and sent out. Now, instead of editing these files, I can open these in AutoCAD and go through all my editing. But just to make things a little quicker, I've got some files done. So here you can see, if you just look at the little thumbnails here, you can see these electrical drawings have been created, or I've also created PDF renditions. So these are the electrical drawings that Karen has created for our project. So now Karen can do an upload and add the DWGs and PDFs. So on Karen's side as a contractor, once she created the DWGs, she also created PDF renditions. Because all of the online viewing and markup in the portal is done off of PDFs. Now, the next version of Portal coming out, it's actually going to create the PDFs for you automatically. So if you upload DWGs to the portal, it'll create the DWFs for you. So now you can see it's added these particular files, and you can see I'm gonna bear with me a second. I didn't do something quite right there. And let's try that again and grab those two files. So you can see here, it's matched the PDFs and DWGs together. It's also scanned to make sure there's not any missing XREFs, and the returned DWG is not empty. So it does a lot of checks for me. So this has been done correctly. Could add more files to the system. We can go ahead and commit those to the system. Now, another feature of the portal, if you wish, you can have your contractors supply metadata or properties about the files. They can do that by uploading a spreadsheet, or they can edit the metadata online. And this is configurable as far as what properties you want them to input and which ones are required or optional. So there's a lot of information here. You might not configure it with this much information, but they can go in and configure a sheet size. Oops, a little too far there. A discipline. So these are electrical. You can do just one field and drag. There are circuit diagrams. And then the portal, if this information is not filled in, it'll do a compliance check and flag it that the contractor has missed that information. So the contractor's got, Karen's got that information filled in, and now the information is ready to submit, and she could put in a message if she wishes. And now, if I go back, I get notification that that package has been submitted. Or I can just see it from right here. So here you can see it's the second package in this project. I didn't put in any description. So now I can open that package. Again, I can acknowledge back to Karen that, hey, I got what you sent. And then myself as the document controller, I can do a first review of, not really getting into the detailed contents of, is this electrical design correct, but, are the properties filled out on this file? I can go in and I can view each file. So we've got the view. So I can go through each file one by one to make sure, the contents are there, the properties are there, and I've got the ability to accept or reject. So that one looks good. I can go to number 2. I can do the same thing, bring it up in the viewer, make sure the contents are there, properties are filled out. Just for the sake of time, I'll just do this quickly and shortcut a little bit. So now each file has been individually accepted, so I can go ahead and accept that package that Karen has sent to me. Now, as the document controller or project coordinator, I want to build a review package of, it could be of these documents and maybe some others that have come in along the way as well. So there's flexibility in your packages as they come in at various stages to, split and join as needed. So now what I want to do is create a review package to go to Richard, our electrical engineer, to really do an engineering review and make sure the designs are correct. So now I can say send these for review, and I can build my review team. I'll pick Richard, and I'm actually going to make Richard the lead reviewer, and then I'm just going to make myself an optional reviewer. So you can have as many different optional or required reviewers as necessary. I'm building my review team by custom. A neat feature is this distribution matrix, where if we go back and look at, in Portal, you can assign document types, or we could look at that metadata by the discipline type of the drawing, where Portal can automatically assign reviewers based on a distribution matrix of the drawing discipline and the discipline or role assigned to your personnel. So that can be done and automated to help automate your review and distribution process. And so now if we hit send, I've got Richard's email set up in Microsoft Edge. So there is his notification. And here is Richard's review package of documents coming up. So here you can see, so here's a review. So here's the package details. It automatically assigned a package number. It's got a status. You can see who the required and optional reviewers are, and then how many documents they've reviewed and signed off on so far. So now Richard can go in, and Meridian Portal supports both online and offline review. So if I click here, this will bring the drawing up in Portal for online review and markup. I can also download it to my computer and then use some other software I might have on my computer for doing reviews and markups. And then when that's done, upload that offline review and attach it to the file in Portal. So you've got multiple different ways to support your review process. But if I click it here, it will bring it up for online review. And you can see with Annotate, we've got lots of different tools here, for setting text information. We can add sticky notes with comments. We can add free text. We can draw rectangles. We can do various different shapes to do a markup as necessary to comment on where there may be issues with the drawing. Or again, this can be done, downloaded and do it offline if you have a preferred markup tool you already use. So I'll say that one looks good. So I can set the response on this particular drawing, and I'll say it. So your options are, you can say it was reviewed with no comments, reviewed with comments, say it needs to go back for revision, or I didn't review this one. So I can say reviewed with no comments. And now you can see back in my package list, you can see it's tracking all that. So you can see there's my response. See, this has been reviewed by one person. And, I can complete the cycle. Again, for the sake of time, I won't bring each file up and actually look at it like I'm supposed to. I'm just going to go ahead and set the same response. Again, I'm going to cutting corners here. And then if I did do some markup and put it on there, here's where I would say reviewed with comments, which I'll go ahead and click here. So now others will see that and know to go in and take a look at my particular markup. Now I do have the ability to go back and revisit any of these files and change my response or edit my markup. So that's not final until I say finalize. And it's telling me, I'm saying I'm done. I can't go backwards. So I can go ahead and finalize that and then say my review is complete. Now that will actually, with me as Matt Lane as the document controller, I would get an email notification that is completed. I got to go back to Matt Lane. Yeah, see, Richard didn't have any documents assigned to him at that point because he just had those 4 documents for review. That was done, so there's no other document sitting there for him in the project. So now when I go back to myself, Matt Lane, as the document controller, I now see those documents. We can see the status. And here I can go in as document controller. I can see the full history on each document. So that's all completely tracked. I can also go to the audit trail on this project. And here's the full audit trail of this particular project. So I went to a document and saw its history. So that's like an audit trail for that particular document. Here's the audit trail of 63 events that took place on this project. And my audit trail report, I can filter it by user, just what each user did. I can filter by action, and I can filter by date to only look at maybe the more recent dates. Also, I have dashboards in Portal where I can go in and see dashboard information on this particular project, which is very handy to do. And then my last step here, I pick these documents. I can release them, so then those will be marked. They'll still be in the portal, and they will be marked as released or finalized documents that don't need any further alteration, and they will still be stored in the portal. I could also, from here, I could download them somewhere to my server if I need to, or if you're also using Meridian Enterprise, when these are all done, I can say send and send them to Meridian. So they would automatically be sent to the ML1004 project folder in my on-premise Meridian, where they could then be handed over to operations. If you have the integration set up. So that kind of covers hopefully what is giving people a good overview of the usage and capabilities of Meridian Portal. So again, kind of the overall advantages, besides the specific features that we showed you, again, it'll work completely standalone or integrated with Meridian. It's designed specifically for engineering and construction projects, so that everything as far as, the setup and the access rights and the roles is all based around projects. And not only, does it allow you to have projects to upload files or download from, as you saw, it's really got workflows built in for you to control the flow and the steps. You saw the automated generation of transmittals. So when you get into large projects, you're not having to, deal with tens or hundreds of, or even thousands of files individually all the time. Things go in and out as packages, to pull things together, and then you can go into the specific packages or the list of documents. Again, this is cloud-based software as a service, so it's, no installation and very quick deployment and ability to go live. So that really covers what we had down to present this morning. So at this point, as Ashley mentioned, if you had already or wish to submit questions to the question panel, we can go ahead and address those. Let me see if we've got anything here yet, if I can get that open. So question about, my display got a little fun. There we go. Can projects be filtered by metadata? I'm going to have to check on that one. Let me go back to here. I don't think there's actually any filtering of your project list, except if you put, I mentioned, can projects be filtered by metadata such as a patient care project versus a research project? I don't see it listed here, although if you put that in the name of the project, then you could do a search on that and just see that. Can Meridian handle AutoCAD XREFs? Both Meridian Enterprise, Meridian Cloud, and Meridian Portal all handle AutoCAD XREFs. And project numbers, with Portal, project numbers are not automatically generated for you. So you do need to input those, at least as of the current release. So those are the questions we have got so far. We can leave things open here for another minute or so to see if other people have questions that they would like to input. While we're waiting on that, Ashley, do you have any wrap-up information?
Well, thank you, Matt. I'll just let people know that if you do think of questions later on, you can simply reply to that go to webinar reminder or confirmation email you received, and we can get those to Matt or your sales rep to get your questions answered. Once again, there will be a little short survey. It's just 4 questions I think that will pop up as we close down today. And also a reminder that you will receive an email tomorrow which will contain a link for the recording of today's presentation. I think there may be one more question in there, Matt.
Yeah, are there links to ERP systems available is our last question. There's nothing out of the box. So to do that, there would need to be some customization done in order to link to ERP systems. On-premise Meridian does have links to ERP built in, but not Meridian Portal as far as a built-in feature.
Okay. Well, thank you, Matt, for the presentation, and thank you all for attending today. Have a great day, everybody.